Hi everyone, and welcome. Thank you for coming to the presentation today. We are the triALL group, and we've been working with ASC and SLSO to bring more clinical studies to the region of Stockholm. And my name is Hanna, and I've studied sociology.
And I'm Ella, and I study management.
I'm Xiaojie, I study urban planning.
I'm Mahisha, and I study human geography.
Yes, so just to go over the agenda a little bit, we will start with our initial challenge and the point of view, and then like the other group, how we have tried to understand the problem and how we have empathized in this process, and go over our evolution of insights, so what we've realized, and which led us to our concept selection, and also our ideation, prototyping, and testing phase. Which then led us to the final concept selection. Yes, so we started with the initial problem statement of how can we increase participation in clinical studies at the study unit ASC so that the number of clinical studies in Region Stockholm can increase. And this is in the context of an outspoken risk of sponsors threatening to leave the region because of struggles of sites to fulfill recruitment criteria. So that's the initial problem statement. And starting off how we have tried to understand the problem and how we have empathized, we have used mostly interviewing. So these are a few illustrations of the interviews that we have had. So for example, we have interviewed someone from APC, the study unit of primary care. We've also interviewed a participant in a clinical trial, which was very valuable to get their perspective, and a legal expert at SLSO, a representative from a pharma company, and then we've done around 50 street interviews, and we've also handed out a questionnaire for current participants at SLSO. So these are some of the interviews that we did, which kind of completed our perspectives of understanding all the perspectives from different stakeholders to understand the challenge fully.
Yes, so we gathered the insights, and they were mainly based from our street interviews, and they reflect key themes of our challenge. So the first one is awareness and information, and it's closely connected to trust. Many people told us they were unsure what clinical trials actually involves. They were not necessarily against participating, but they needed a clear and easy to understand information, especially regarding safety. Clinical trials were rarely seen as a form of volunteering. They were more perceived as technical or mainly benefiting pharmaceutical companies. This differs from activities as blood donation, which are more clearly viewed as a form of helping society. And several participants also mentioned that the consent form was quite difficult to understand and suggested a simpler version of it. Trust is one of the strongest themes in our interviews. Many participants expressed their skepticism towards the healthcare system and the pharmaceutical companies, often because they felt that profit might be more prioritized over the participants' well-being. Trust also increased when trials were linked to well-known public and academic institutions, such as Karolinska Institutet and Region Stockholm. And these organizations were seen as credible and responsible. We also learned that trust is personal, and encouragement from family members or trusted contacts can play an important role whether people choose to participate or not. And the third insight we have is incentives, and the views on incentives varied. Some participants felt that financial compensation were fair given the time and effort that it involves. Others said that money is not important and saw participation as a way to contribute to society. Many people appreciated practical compensation such as reimbursement for travel and missed work, and also symbolic rewards and public recognition were viewed as positively as they made participants feel more appreciated and that their contributions mattered.
So this led us to our reformulated problem statement, which is in order to recruit more participants, how can we actively raise the level of awareness about the study unit ASC, spread accessible information across potential participants, and foster trust toward clinical trials. So here we highlighted main core insights.
So our concepts were based on the reformulated problem adjustment and also our insights. And at an early stage, we developed these 5 concepts, and they explore different ways of increasing awareness, trust, and engagement in clinical trials. So they helped us test ideas, identify barriers, and understand what might work in practice. So the first one is info on the move, and that one focus on bringing information directly to people through mobile buses and pop-up booths in public spaces. The digital phase proposed a digital platform accessed via QR codes, offering information, trial overviews, and contact with former participants. Trial talks focused on in-person talks and discussion to create a dialogue and a community. And then we decided to further develop from the motion to action, which is make clinical trials more relatable through engaging posters in public spaces and trial heroes that explore symbolic rewards as a way to recognize participation and without using any financial incentives. So after evaluating all of this concept, we decided to further develop the motion to action, trial heroes, and a new concept called step out, test out. Well, all of the concept address important challenges related to awareness, trust, and participation. Some of them required longer development timelines, higher resource investment, and more coordination to be implemented. And several of these concepts also depended on structural changes or long-term organizational processes, making them less suitable for short-term implementation. And given the scope of our project, we therefore prioritized these 3 concepts that could be implemented more quickly and providing a clear and tangible value.
Yeah, and I'll go into the prototyping and testing. Last time for the people who were here at the midterm, maybe they remember we showed these 2 posters and we asked everyone which one of those they preferred. The one on the left is supposed to spark more of a emotion of sadness, and the one on the right is supposed to spark a positive emotion and curiosity. We tested this based on your feedback and feedback we got from the people of Stockholm on the streets. We decided to go for the more positive message, the one on the right. The one on the right sparked most positivity, action of people, personal reflection, and curiosity because of the ambiguous nature. We tested all the posters on the street, and with the feedback we got, we gradually improved the posters to have them with the most clarity, emotional impact, and visual strength. This is some feedback we got. We incorporated this in the posters, and that's how we got to the final posters. We also did testing for the rewards, and we did this in the form of a poll.
Yeah. So to gather the different concepts we choose, we put forward our final concept called clinic heroes, and it reframes participation as in clinical trial as a positive and socially valuable action, and also position participant as active contributor to society rather than just a passive subject. To realize this concept, we work with three interconnected components. The posters and the social media plan focus on narrative and engagement, making the clinic trial more visible, discussable, and relatable in everyday life. And the symbolic rewards focus on recognition, reinforcing participants' identity of clinic hero and acknowledging their contribution. In addition to these three components, we introduce Step Out, Test Out as a complementary institutional implementation. It explores how participants can be structurally supported through workplace collaboration, fully aligned with our trial hero concept mindset. Then we will introduce these parts more detail.
Yes. So one of the parts of our final concept are 5 posters, and these are the 3 first ones. And like Xiaojie and Ella said, we got most positive feedback on these messages that remained a positive tone and positive message. And that's why we decided to keep the person sitting here might be a hero, because we got a lot of good feedback on that one, and a lot of people said that they would be inclined to scan it because it's ambiguous enough to not quite know what it means, but that it sparked a lot of curiosity. And then also based on the feedback, last time we decided to include one that makes it clear that clinical trials are necessary to develop new medicine that we're all dependent on and that we might take for granted. So that we think that is a very good way of really showing the importance of clinical trials in medical research, and that they're really necessary for the greater good of society and for to save lives. So this also all contributes to changing the narrative a little bit of breaking the stigma around clinical trials and the fear associated with them that we found. And these are the last 2, which kind of also go into the same or have the same tone. And we again use the hero reference here to show again that it's something to really be proud of to participate in clinical trials. And this is one that we drew by hand. Yes.
For the rewards, we see the rewards as a token of gratitude and a badge of honor for the participants. We wanted to create a house style for ASC, that's why we chose similar imaging as on the posters. We have, for example, here the person wearing this bag is a hero. We decided to go for everyday use items so people can use them. They can maybe spark conversation. The logo of the region of Stockholm and ASC is on there. So it also increases visibility. And then on the right we have a thank you cards for people when they've completed a clinical trial. And then we wanted to be a bit creative as well, and so we decided to also design a collectible series of bag charms for ASC.
Yes. So Step Out, Test Out emerged during the later stages of our data collection. We were inspired by the initiative Ge Blod, where employees can go and donate blood during working hours. So this concept explore how participation in low-threshold sample-based clinical studies can be integrated into everyday working life. So we created a proposal for ASC to support outreach to different employment sectors. Through a collaboration between Region Stockholm, ASC, and employers, the employees can be given the opportunity to participate in short, non-interventional studies such as blood and urine sampling during working hours within clear ethical and regulatory frameworks. And these studies are time efficient and well suited for the workplace setting. ASC already conducts this type of research on behalf of academia, healthcare, life science industry, and they act as a key link between research and participants. For the employers, this offers a concrete way to support medical research, support public health and social sustainability, while also strengthening the employee engagement. So to clearly communicate the idea behind this, Step Out Test Out, we developed the slogan "Vanlig dag, ovanlig jätte," and that this highlights how an ordinary workday can become an opportunity to contribute to future healthcare.
And finally, is the roadmap shows how the clinic hero concept can be implemented in a controlled and realistic way. We begin with a pilot phase. It focuses on testing and observation on low-cost and low-risk actions, such as posters in the digital screens in waiting area in ASC or other already available channel, and the small-scale social media plan, also a prototype set of symbolic gifts. The second phase is about evaluation and adjustment in midterm, where insights from posters, from social media interaction and rewards are used to refine the approach. Meanwhile, as ASC can begin to explore the feasibility of Step Out, Test Out plan as an additional model. In final phase, once both engagement and feasibility are validated, the concept can be scaled and integrated into ASC's long-term communication and collaboration structures. Thank you.